Hey everybody, it's Greg Harrelson here with Century 21, the Harrelson Group in sunny Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I just want to come to you with another real estate update for June 2026. So I recently pulled the numbers of what's going on in the entire Grand Strand, which it can stretch all the way down from, say, Pawleys Island, Georgetown, all the way up to Little River, and then of course out west towards Conway. So I want to talk to you about the numbers because there's some things that I think you need to hear, especially if you're thinking about selling sometime this summer. So let me get right into it. The big story right now is demand. Demand has definitely increased. It's jumping. Pending sales for residential homes right now are, meaning properties that are under contract, about 24% increase over this time last year. So just if we take this time, June or end of June of 2025, and compare it to the same time in 2026, there's been about a 24% increase in the number of pending sales for residential homes. That's incredible, and that's showing that confidence is coming back to the market. Okay, that's a big jump for any particular given year. Now, we'll look into it a little bit more. Closed sales year to date are about 7% higher. So there's been more closings, 7%. But then if we go back and look at pendings is up 24%, now we know the second half of the year, we're probably going to see closed transactions go up significantly more, finishing out the year very, very strong. And for residential homes, I can say inventory is tightening up. Right now, there's about a 5.1 months of supply. Now, what that means is when we talk about months supply, that means if no other properties came to market, based on the trends and how many is selling per month, in 5.1 months, we'd be at zero inventory. Of course, there's going to be other homes come on the market. We're never going to go, well, I shouldn't say never. It's a possibility. It's not a probability. We probably will never go to 0 months inventory, but we can say that we are sliding down. And there's this magic 6 months supply. That number, the magic 6, means that 6 months of supply is what we call a neutral market. It's not really a buyer's market. It's not really a seller's market. It's kind of like both people are, don't have really much leverage of another. When it's under 6, then that means the sellers have a little bit more leverage over the buyer. So I think, again, that's a positive thing. And right now, it's typical for a home to take around 78 days to go under contract. And then it takes anywhere from 30 to 45 days for it to close. So it could be, 100 days, 120 days before it's all final transaction has been closed. But that's kind of the time frame that's typical right now. And the average sales price is around $490,000. So let's talk about the condo market, because honestly, the condo market is one that I'm a little bit more excited about. Now, with that being said, I will say this. The supply is over 8 months of supply. So when we look at how many months supply there is in condos, you would say, gosh, Greg, that's not too good. Well, that number's decreasing. It was over 9 months before. So we see the trend is going down. And right now, closed sales for condos has increased by 17% year over year. And pending sales is very similar to the residential sales. It's increased around 24%. So we have seen more closings on the condo market, and we're seeing more pendings, and prices have actually firmed up. We were starting to see the prices slip a little bit, but they're way more firm now. So we're starting to see that the list price to sales price ratio is shrinking. The gap is shrinking, and sellers are able to get closer to their asking price. So again, the only negative thing is there's still 8.4 months supply. So if you're a buyer looking at a condo right now, you may still have a little bit of negotiating power because there's a lot of choice. But just know, if you're an owner of one of these condos, the market's looking up. So if you're thinking about selling, it's probably something that you would want to look at for your particular building and see if the timing is right based on the current inventory, what the prices are, etc. Now, talk about interest rates real quick. Something we don't control, but roughly at the time of this recording, interest rates are hovering around 6.4%, 6.47%, somewhere in that range. But a year ago, they were at 6.81. And the difference between those two on, say, a $400,000 property is roughly $80 a month in in your monthly payment. So there is a difference, but I don't think that little reduction of the interest rate necessarily what's fueling the market. I think people are just ready to move on with their plans, and they've just accepted that interest rates are where they are, and that if they do go down, they're going to go ahead and lock into their property right now, get their number one property that's on their list, their favorite, go ahead and lock in. Yes, they're paying 6.47% interest, and in the event that interest rates do go down, maybe they drop into the fives, they'll always look at refinancing at that time. I don't think that they have, like, in their minds, they know for sure it's going to go down that low. They're willing to buy it now, and if it does go down low, then of course they'll reevaluate and decide whether or not they need to refinance. I think that's what's going on. So if you're a seller, especially in the single family, the residential market, this is your time. Demand is strong, and the season, this is the time of the year. So well-priced homes are moving, and that's perfect. That's exactly what we've been looking for. If you're a buyer, then go ahead and start looking at that condo market. You still have a little bit of negotiating power, but more important than the negotiating power is you have options. Once this market starts fueling up, you'll see that the good inventory will be depleted, and then all of a sudden you'll have to purchase your second choice. Now, here's the thing. The numbers that I'm giving you, that's the numbers for the entire Grand Strand. Again, from Pawleys Island to Little River, out to Conway, Longs, and all the surrounding areas. What really matters, though, is what is the price of your home in your neighborhood or in your condo building? And that's where I come in. So if there's ever a time that you're thinking about selling, or you just want to know what's going on in the real estate market, if you're thinking about making a move within the next year, feel free to give me a call. Give me a call, share with me what you own. I will do a market analysis. I'll break down what the competition, the supply is, how much you can get for your property, most importantly, how much you would net in your pocket after all closing costs, and see if it's a viable option. Maybe the right thing to do is sell. Maybe the right thing to do is hold. That's a personal decision, but I'd love to empower you with the information to help you make those good financial decisions within your real estate holdings. I'm Greg Harrelson with Century 21, the Harrelson Group. I would love to help you. You can find me in many different cases. Email me, text me, look at the description for my contact information, and we'll go from there. I look forward to helping you, and I'll update you again soon.